Well, come along today and I'm going to show you how to make your very own holiday wheat thin crackers. I'm going to show you how easy it is and they're super delicious. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. It could not get any easier than what I'm going to be showing you. We're going to be making it in our food processor. So let's go ahead and get started. I have 3 tablespoons of butter, and now I want to add 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, three teaspoons baking powder, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1/4 teaspoon paprika. Now this is optional. And you also could put 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs in this as well. That is optional as well too. You don't have to, but if you want to, go ahead. Okay, I'm going to put the cover on, and I'm going to take this over to my food processor, and I'm going to give it a few pulses to mix it. Okay, now I'm going to go and check it, and you're going to want it to feel, I guess, like sand or like cornmeal. I guess that's the best way for me to describe it. Yes, that's how you want it. Okay, I'm going to leave my cover off because I'm going to add the rest of our ingredients now. Okay, now you're going to want to add 1/4 cup of water and 2 tablespoons of oil. Now go ahead, put this back up on your food processor and give it a few more pulses. Alright, just keep running it through and it's going to start to ball up like what it's starting to. Okay, let me check it. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another tablespoon of water. And you might have to take your spatula from now and then every once in a while and just go ahead and scrape down your sides. I want to get everything all mixed in. So go ahead, keep mixing. Now, before you all go adding the extra water like I did, your humidity levels where you live at the time also will play a role on if you have to add more or less water. So just please keep that in mind, folks. And not to mention, I have a fire going here in my house, so it's getting pretty nice and tropical in here, so it's pretty dry. So that's why I had to add more water to mine as well. Okay, it's right exactly how I want it. Best way for me to explain it to you is, if you ever made pie crust before, it's like a pie crust dough. So that's how you want it. Now folks, this is going to be one of the best tips I could ever give to you for rolling out dough or anything. This is how I do most of my doughs when I do roll out my doughs. I never, ever, ever spread flour or anything down on my surface. I always grab a piece of parchment paper. I put that down. I go ahead and I get myself another piece of parchment paper. And I go ahead and I put that on top of let me just get rid of my little decoration here. I just grab another piece and I put that on top. And then I grab my rolling pin. Let me cover up the dough and the processor. And then I go on top of the parchment paper and I roll this out. But because of how the camera is set up, it's really awkward and hard for me in this little tight area for me to roll out my dough for you all the way. So you get the idea. Okay. And also you want to get it as smooth as, not as smooth, as you want to get your dough as thin as possible. The thinner you can get your dough, the crispier the cracker you're going to have. So please keep that in mind as well. Okay? Excuse me. Now let's go ahead and let's pull up the parchment paper. It's okay if it sticks because it comes right off. Just go ahead, press that down and back into the dough itself, and nobody will ever know that it was. Okay, I'm going to grab my leaf cutters because I said this is for Thanksgiving. And by the way, folks, up in Canada, this is probably going to be the last video that you'll be seeing from me, because on Monday you'll be celebrating your Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be concentrating the rest of my videos to us here in the States. So, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so I'm going to continue cutting this whole thing out of my holiday leaves for Thanksgiving. Okay, now let's go ahead and remove all this excess dough. So I'll be back as soon as I have all ours removed. There, I removed all the excess dough. And now I'm going to just try to pick these up as gently as I can with the spatula and transfer them over to a cookie sheet to bake. So I'll be back. Alright, there you go. As you see, I transferred them over to my pizza pan because I have cookie sheets that are filled up with other ones, and they're all waiting to be baked. And then with your excess dough, I want you to sit there, re-roll it out, and roll it as thin as we can, and go ahead, cut more of your leaf shapes out. Okay. You can sit there, go ahead and put the veins in just by dragging the end of a toothpick. as such. And then also you're going to want to pick it a few times. So go ahead and do that to each one of your crackers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish my holiday crackers. Okay, I went ahead, I scored my lines in, and I poked it or I docked it. And now I'm just coming across the top of each one, and I'm just putting a light little layer of water on, because I'm going to be sprinkling on some fine Himalayan salt on top, and I want it to stick to the dough. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put water down on the rest of these, and I'm going to grab my Himalayan salt and I'm going to grind it all up, and I'm going to put a light sprinkling on top. Alright, here's my Himalayan salt, and go ahead and there. I'm going to put these in the oven as soon as I fill the rest of my tray up, and we're going to bake them for 10 to 12 minutes at 400. Okay, we baked them at 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes, and we brought them out of the oven, and I went ahead and I put them on a cooling rack. I want you to do the same. Now, you're going to want these to cool all the way, and then after they're cool, I want you to feel the whole cracker. And if you feel any spots that might be a little soft and stuff, I want you to put that back on a baking tray and pop it back in the oven for 5 more minutes. But I want you to test out each and every one of these crackers before you put it on a serving tray, because the last thing you want to have served to your guest is a homemade cracker that is doughy in the center. And you're going to then also want to test out the crispness of your crackers. So when I say test out the crispiness, it should fall apart like a cracker. That's pretty good. That's really good. Okay, so I want you to do the same. I'm going to finish eating this cracker because it's really good. I wish I had some cheese to go along with it right now. So I'm going to finish baking all the rest of my holiday crackers, and happy holidays. And there you go. This is how easy it is to make holiday homemade wheat thins.